Morning. It's Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026 at 9 a.m. I'll call the Door County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Do we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have a roll call, please.
Yeah, 3 excused.
Okay, we have 18 present and 3 excused. Okay, the presentation of the agenda. Could we have a motion to approve the agenda, please? As properly noticed. A motion by Supervisor Miller, a second by Supervisor Norton to approve the agenda. Any questions? Okay. All in favor signify by aye. Opposed? The agenda stands approved. We have nothing in the packet for correspondence. Public comment. Is there anyone in the audience this morning that would like to make a public? Okay. Go to the podium there, state your name and address.
Hi, good morning. My name is Katie Bainey, and I am a candidate for State Senate in District 1, which includes all of Door County. I live in De Pere, so just south of here, 1505 Chicago Street, De Pere. I've been at a number of these county meetings, and typically they also ask if you're a registered lobbyist, which I am not. So just for the record, if that's something you all can typically ask. I will keep it short today because I know folks are excited about a short agenda, so I've heard. So I am just here again to introduce myself. I am a candidate for State Senate. I am running in the Republican primary, and I'm running because there's a lot of serious issues facing our state. I grew up here. I spent my summers in Door County. I grew up in De Pere, up here hiking and swimming and cross-country skiing in the winter, and I'm just concerned about the future of the state. I have 2 young kids, and we have a lot of serious issues again. So sometimes it just takes a mom, and that's why I'm running. So it's great to be here. I would love to chat with anyone after the meeting. I'm excited to hear about the issues in front of the board, and I appreciate the time.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to come. Okay, is there anyone else from the public? We have a small audience today. So anyone online can.
Sure, anyone that's online, if you could please raise your hand and we can give you the floor to provide comment. I'll ask 2 more times. If you'd like to speak, please raise your hand. And for the final time, if you'd like to speak, please raise your hand.
Okay, I guess there's no one wishing to comment. Perhaps we don't have a controversial issue on the agenda today, so that's good. Supervisor's response, there would be none. The approval of the minutes of the May 26, 2026 County Board meeting. We have a motion by Thais and a second by Jeancourt to approve those minutes. Any corrections, additions to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of those minutes signify by aye. Opposed? Okay, the minutes stand approved. County Administrator, will you give us your monthly report?
Sure, I think there's 2 reports in the packet. Obviously, there's 2 things that I think that really stand out to me is obviously the airport. I'm not sure if anyone's been by or not, but it's actually a pretty amazing sight to see. They're working on the runways. I believe all the initial base layers are installed and they're starting to pour and do that aspect of it, but it's pretty amazing the amount of earth and everything they had to move to get everything prepped. So if you have a chance to drive by, it's kind of neat to see. So. And then the other item just that stands out to me as well is obviously for the Museum Archives, that project is now out to bid. So we should have numbers for next month for hopefully your review. That'll be going to the committee first as a special meeting, and depending on those results, knock on wood, if they come in proper, we'll have it at the county board. So we'll see where that goes.
Okay, any questions of Ken on any of his report, the written or his oral report now? Okay, seeing none. Okay, I have nothing for pending business. The resolutions. Resolution 2026-43, I will introduce that one myself. Only because Dale Williams and I both started on the county board in April of '92. And So we do have a motion by Thais and a second by Jean Court. Okay. In memoriam to Dale Williams, to the Door County Board of Supervisors. Whereas Dale Williams passed away on May 26, 2026, and whereas Supervisor Williams was duly elected to the Door County Board of Supervisors in April of 1992 and served until April of 1996. Whereas Supervisor Williams represented Supervisory District 17, encompassing the town of Bailey's Harbor and the town of Jacksonport, Ward 1. And whereas during his tenure, Supervisor Williams served on several committees, including Emergency Services, Communications, Law Enforcement and Judicial, Social Services, and Communications Subcommittee. Now therefore be it resolved that the Door County Board of Supervisors, assembled in regular session this 23rd day of June 2026, extend our sincerest sympathy to the family of Dale Williams with this acknowledgement of his dedication and service to the citizens of Door County. Okay. So we have the motion and a second to approve this resolution. All those in favor signify by aye. Opposed? Okay, that carries. Resolution 2026-44. Supervisor Thais.
2026-44, which is the adoption of the Employee and Administrative Policy Manual. This has been in front of the old board and this new board here on a couple of occasions and in front of the admin committee for several months. And it's time now to go ahead and adopt it. Obviously, this is a living document. Anything that changes within the policy or perspective of the way the employees are cared for, this policy manual can be updated.
Okay, are there any questions to the committee or to the administrator? Okay, seeing, nope, okay. Super. I'm Peter, please.
Oh, am I on? There we go. I just appreciate the work that's gone into this and understand it's an update to what's already been through, but I just wanted to not let it pass without, I guess, expressing in front of the board and for those that may be interested, my concerns about some of the language around there's the subjectiveness of some of the policies, and curious if that was discussed and how we could standardize maybe implementation. And it just seems like a lot of effort for department heads and things to calibrate on. So I guess I'm curious as far as implementation and oversight to ensure a consistent and equitable implementation, and what sort of discussion has been had on that.
Okay. It's combining of two policies from before, so it is extensive, and it came to the administrative committee, 2, 3, 4 times, probably, closer to 4 at least, with input after some of those agenda reviews. The department heads had input, and as well as supervisors, and so it was. Again, you want to add anything to that?
Sure, just for context, we have been working, I can give you the full story, but I'll just do the internal review. So when we did this, when we got to a point where the document was ready for what we thought the initial review with the administrative committee, we also put it out to the department head and employees to provide comments. And all those comments were then tracked on a spreadsheet, and we provided updates to the admin committee in terms of all those changes or updates or explanations of why we did make a change or how we made a change or if we did not make a change. And then likewise, what we did is we went through that first iteration, we brought it to the admin committee, and then we went through again and we put it out to department heads and employees to again review the entire document again and gather that same process for a second iteration of comments. And we did that and brought that also back to the admin committee for their full review. And then we actually, again, paused it again, allow the admin committee to do a complete review of all those changes, and then it's gotten to the point where it is today. So in terms of implementation, what we're hoping to do is that if we would adopt today, we'd actually send out acknowledgement form that all the employees are aware that it's available. We'll put it on our internal website, and they can acknowledge that they've seen it on the website. but then they can again refamiliarize themselves with the document itself. And obviously they'll, anything that we do in terms of any type of changes or updates beyond this will always be announced in terms of all the employees. So if there's an edit that's done, we always track that and make announcements. And that's why you'll see also in the document, there's a way of tracking all the changes for each chapter in the future. So that way we can actually keep that as a record in terms of when those changes were made. So I'm not sure if I'm answering everything.
Yeah, not really. Again, I'm asking about implementation and consistency of applying what's in it, not how it came here and that. But if you can't answer that, so that was my question. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, hearing none. We have a motion by Supervisor Thais and a second by Supervisor Jeancourt to approve the adoption of the Employee and Administrative Policy Manual. All of those in favor signify by aye. Opposed? Like to be so noted? Okay. Okay, so it passes by a voice vote with 17 approving and 1 objection. Okay. Resolution 2026-45, Supervisor Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-45, which is a resolution declaring official intent to reimburse expenditures from proceeds of borrowings. To summarize it, this does not approve any borrowings. All we're doing is declares the maximum amount that we can borrow when it is needed. And by placing this in advance, it also allows the county to reimburse themselves through this bond for any expenditures that we may have with this particular project, and it is specific to the communications project.
Okay. Any other comments? Ken or Steve, had you? Any further explanation?
Sure, let's do
Jeff did a
just
good job.
just one quick thing. So again, it's you did an excellent job, but what it does is it gives us the ability, so any expenses that we have occurred so far would not qualify. But the date that this is adopted, it allows us to start tracking those expenses going forward. And then when we get to the point of actually issuing the bonds, we can do a look back between now and when we issue those bonds and say we spent X dollars on land, towers, or whatever. Do we want to pay ourselves back? We're thinking most likely not, but we did a similar process when you did the community center as well before we issue the bonds. It just puts you in a best position to make financial decisions. So the financial decision could be that we don't need to pay ourselves back, or the financial decision can be, well, we're interested in paying ourselves back for this aspect. So really, it's just a resolution to put us in our best position financially in terms of giving us all the options on the table. Doesn't mean we have to exercise, it just gives us all those actions that's available to us. So that's the intent of what this is for.
Okay. A question for you or Steve. Jeff alluded to the $15 million amount, but that isn't actually the maximum that we could borrow.
Correct. We could bond more. The
Yeah.
15 million is what we could actually say we're going to reimburse ourselves. We could do like a $25 million bond and say 15 of it's to pay us back. But it's just the amount that we say that we're going to potentially reimburse ourselves back
Yeah.
for. But again, it's the high end.
It's not that Supervisor Miller is really wrong, it's just a
Yep.
clarification.
This is semantic. Yep.
Yep, okay. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, Supervisor Vogel. Oh, I apologize, Supervisor Heim-Peter.
Thank you. I have a question. You were referencing pay ourselves back, and I'm sorry, I just don't understand. From what pot of money would we be paying ourselves? Like, what's that mechanism mean?
So the best example would be is, let's say we spent $1 billion on a project now between next year. So when we do the bonds, we could say that we're going to bond for the remaining, let's say the remaining balance of the project is $10 million. I could actually bond for $11 million and actually reimburse ourselves the cash that we're using now to pay up front. We don't have to, but it gives you the ability to pay ourselves back from our, if we're taking it from our reserves or our capital fund or that type of thing. You're actually,
Bonding makes me like we're loaning you understand what I'm trying to say? Like bonding, in my brain, is like it's a loan.
Correct.
It is.
So we're loaning. Okay.
Before we actually go for the bond, we can use our own financial resources to pay those costs associated with the project, as
Correct.
Ken explained. And then once the bonding is completed, the borrowing is completed, then we can reimburse ourselves for the costs that we covered prior to the,
At the end of. No,
yes.
I appreciate the
Correct.
explanation.
Okay. Okay, any other questions then? Okay. So again, on the motion by Supervisor Miller and a second by Supervisor Vogel to approve the resolution, all those in favor signify by aye. Opposed? Okay, that stands approved. That's the last of our resolutions. We have no ordinances. There are no special reports scheduled for today. There isn't any new business. Are there any oral committee reports? Okay. Supervisor Miller.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to let the board know that at our last Finance Committee meeting, we did begin to kind of review those funds that we talked about at our retreat. We are starting to work with the special project funds first, which the Finance Committee directed the administration and Steve to come back to us with the proposal as to what funds may be needed, continue to be needed for the special project, and which of those can be moved for other uses. And then after that, we'll move forward and continue to do the research on those other remaining fund balances that are out there. So I don't know if any of the committee members have a comment.
No, I think there's a number of those are significant. Sometimes they were related to projects that occurred over the years. I think there's actually still a little bit of money in a Veterans Memorial Fund
Yep.
when the Veterans Memorial was placed in front of the new City Hall 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's not a significant amount, but it's one of those small items that's still there. Okay. Any other oral committee reports? Okay, the review of committee minutes? Any questions on the minutes? The review of vouchers, claims, and bills? Okay, and seeing none, announcements. The next county board meeting will be Tuesday, July 28th, 2026 at 9 a.m. And Jill has a announcement on shirts.
I do.
Okay.
So,
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
what do you want to?
Well, over the years, supervisors that have gone to Wisconsin County's convention and other supervisors, if they choose to order a shirt, we often wear those at the conference. We get a lot of comments from other counties. It's really nice to, oh, Door County is there with the blue shirt or the green or whatever it is, and we're kind of recognized in that effort, but it's also easy to see your fellow supervisors amongst the 300, 400, 500 people that are there. So if there's interest in ordering the shirts, Jill has the information. She can explain it better.
Yeah, your color this year is going to be forest green, so a dark green. There's two different styles you can choose from. You'd have to come to the office to decide that. They do come in both men and women's. Either style does. And prices will range from $22.57 to $27.97, so depending on size.
And this is an example of the shirts. Seen other supervisors wear them sometimes to meetings. Okay, so, I'm sorry, okay. Supervisor Norton.
Thank you. So this isn't county board related. As I talked about in the HHS meeting recently, Door County has 3 basketball teams for Special Olympics. You may have seen in the news, 3 players from the county, actually they're all 3 from my son's team, are in Minnesota right now for representing Team Wisconsin on the national level. To give you a point of reference, there are a total of 10 players across the state. 3 are Door County, 3 are Milwaukee, and the other 4 are randomly throughout the state. So this is crazy because we're not a large community, and all three players came from the same team. To get on to even be possibly accepted, you have to get gold in the last state level. You have to go to a skills camp, and then they randomly lottery fishbowl type thing pick names. So the fact that all three guys made it is nuts. So if you haven't seen it, Let's Go Door County has posted stuff about it, along with Door County Special Olympics has posted stuff. If a few of you might be friends with me on Facebook, I've been sharing a lot of it just because I know all three guys, and I've known them for many, many years, including one of the guys who's from the Northern Door. I've known him since he was pretty much a baby. So that was my only announcement, to check it out. They've had one game. They did lose their first game, but they have a game, I think, today against, I want to say, Maine. So that's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for the comment, and congratulations, I guess, to those players that are participating and the families and community that supports them.
Yeah, my son's actually in Minnesota with their coach, who was their former teacher, also right now watching his friends play.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, could we have a motion to adjourn? A motion by Supervisor Jeancourt, second by Supervisor Shaw. All in favor of adjourning signify by aye. Opposed? Thank you.